Thank you, sir.
Let's try to put this in proper context. There is a difference, let's say, between Almajiri children and out-of-school children. It would be wrong to classify Almajiri as part of out-of-school children, or the figures are separate. So let's hear you say.
Thank you, Cyril, for having me once again in this prestigious and highly respected TV station of ours. You are right that Almajiri is quite different from out-of-school child. Almajiris are a group of young men who are aspiring to acquire the memorization of the Holy Quran. You are quite aware, sir, that Muslims are instructed and mandated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and by the doctrine of their religion that their children should be exposed to the memorization of the Holy Quran. And this is what every Muslim, prays to have. A lot of glad tidings has been attached to memorization of the Holy Quran. A lot of prophetic traditions one can cite, Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, where Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam encouraged Muslims to acquire the memorization of the Holy Quran and to send their children for the memorization of same. So every Muslim is willing to have his child, memorize Quran. But memorization of the Quran can as well be categorized into two. There is a formal Islamia school where a child undergoes, the normal Islamia curriculum, learn to speak Arabic, learn to, write in Arabic, learn to also speak some level of English. This is one aspect of it. The other aspect is the Almajiri system, where a teacher is taking custody of a number of them who also memorize Quran in an informal way. Those Almajiris estimated to be around about 30 million that memorize Quran. One of the biggest mistakes committed by a lot of people is classifying them as out of school, and that has actually stigmatized them and has further driven them from accepting Western education, because they felt that for you to classify them as out of school children, you must have some feelings against the system of education. So that has actually added to their refusal to accept the Western education. So Almajiri are actually in-school students. They are in a sort of informal system of education, and their aim is only to memorize Quran. Unlike the formal Islamia school, where students are exposed to understanding, the dictates of Arabic language, the grammar, the rhetorics, the correct pronunciation and correct intonations. In Almajiri school, they are actually not exposed to Arabic. That is why an ordinary Almajiri can memorize Quran from Baqarah to Nas, from the first chapter to the last chapter, without actually knowing that this Quran is actually addressing him, is talking to him, is giving him some doctrines, is giving him some guidance, is calling him to act. So they are oblivious of the knowledge of Arabic, and as such, some people are taking advantage of them.
Okay, so it's quite easy that while they can recite the Quran, they may not really understand what's said, because they're doing this in Arabic, which they are not taught in, and they do not learn Arabic.
Yes.
Right. On the other hand, you do have a mass of children who are out of any form of schooling whatsoever. Neither informal nor formal, and they're just on the streets.
Yes.
All right. And those are in the region of 20 million, you say?
They are said to be about 20 million. Most of the data available is actually lacking in integrity. That is why we are working assiduously to arrive at a data that is cogent and verifiable. Right. However, for now, this is the data we are using. In Nigeria, we are having up to 20 million out-of-school children and about 30 million Almajiri.
Okay. So if we look at this now, when you look at the spread of it, where would you say the out-of-school children phenomenon is more prevalent?
It's actually in the north. Take, for instance, in Kano, you have about 4 million students that are actually children that are thrown to the street. They are neither Almajiri, and going to any form of, school. So these are actually street boys. You see, you meet them in the garage, you meet them in the motor parks, you meet them everywhere. They are symbolizing, some futures of Almajiri, because they are also beggars, and they are asking for alms. They are looking for sustenance, through begging. However, they are not Almajiri, because you see them, you conspicuously see them at the time when Almajiris are busy taking lessons in the Tsangaya schools. So they are out of school children. They are everywhere in all the states of the north. Unfortunately, people are sleeping over this time bomb that is ready to explode any time soon. May God forgive.
Right, but
may God forbid.
Okay, but also there are other parts of the country, surely, where there are out-of-school children as well, who, for one reason or the other, do not attend kind of formal schooling. Some just there to, they are taking into apprenticeship, but not any formal schooling system.
Yes, actually, this is the irony of the whole issue. If you look at our brothers, the Yorubas, they are said to be custodian of Western education in Africa. You can't hardly be able to enumerate the number of professors in Yoruba. Yet, you have good number of them that are out of school. One would keep, flabbergasting and be surprising forever that why should a Yoruba man who has actually benefited from education, who is seeing education all over his life and the life of his children, will allow some student to be apprenticed, to abandon schooling, despite civilization that has come to them, prior to its advent to the north. If you go to the Igbos, you see that despite the intellectual acumen they are endowed with, Igbos can be anything good you think about. They can be excellent manufacturers. They can be, they can be excellent traders. Mention it. Yet, in Igbo land, you see a lot of them out of school. That is why the issue of this out of school syndrome is actually a Nigerian problem. It's a problem across all the 36 states. And unless it is addressed now, it is going to be a serious, problem which we are not praying to witness its explosion.
All right. So let's come